I just wanna say that I'm happy that you're here. You might not know it, but I've been waiting for you, dear. Ever since I was a child, I had a dream, you see. I would be a singer of a song that set you free. Love is in the air, but forgotten in the breeze. I just wanna get you home and help you find your keys. But money don't come easy and living can be hard. So I joined the Navy, paid my bills by traveling far. But I couldn't run from what I've come to know to be the truth. I was born to sing a song that no one else could do. What's up, everybody? My name's Mark Sheba, and this is the premiere of the first ever song portrait, and I couldn't be more excited. Thank you so much for spending this Tuesday evening with me and in sharing in this moment of celebrating the creation of something that I can't wait to share with you guys. So, cheers, everybody. You're probably wondering what a song portrait is, and that's totally fair. I also had no idea what it was about 6 months ago, and then we just made it up, and then we did it. And I'm gonna be honest, there was a couple times in there where I was unsure how this would end up, but now that we've kind of made it through the first full song portrait, I can say with confidence that this is something I'm proud of, and I'm really I'm grateful for the whole journey that this took me on personally, and for all the beautiful experiences in creating this. It was unlike anything that I've done up until this point in my creative journey. It pushed me in ways that I didn't expect, and what was created out of it was moving to me in ways I didn't expect either. And but before we share the actual song and the film, and I guess I should really just talk about what a song portrait is, because I imagine some of you, many of you, maybe all of you here watching this don't really know what it is. And so what a song portrait is a story turned into a film and a song, and they're both standalone pieces of art, the film and the song. And the intention is that the song portrait is kind of enhancement of the two art forms together in telling a story. And it kind of was brought from this belief that we all have stories to tell. And I've always written songs. It's something that I've just done since I was a young kid, and something I never really understood why I did it. I got a lot of joy out of it, and so I guess there was no reason to understand why I was doing it. And it was always a very lighthearted thing, and I always thought that maybe someday I'd be a big singer and share my songs with the world. And it was always kind of a dream I had. But a couple years ago, I went through this journey of losing my mom to cancer, and in that journey, songs and this creative outlet I had of songwriting, it never left, but it just took a different. It changed for what it meant to me, and it wasn't something that I did for fun as much, and it became something that I needed to do as part of my healing and grief journey. And I realized that through that journey that this whole thing of art and music and song, it's not really like an optional thing, or at least it wasn't for me. It's some extracurricular activity that we do, but it's more part of our humanity, and it's something that it's so integral to the human spirit. And so from that experience, my whole direction of what I was doing with this craft kind of changed, and my aims were different, and the creation of this community, Shiva Village, is a manifestation of that, and then these song portraits were a manifestation from that community, and it really is just this belief that we all have stories to tell, and that the most potent way to tell stories is through art, and specifically in the song portrait project, song and film are the two art forms, and I think it's a very potent combination of art forms, because films are a little bit more, they're more specific, and songwriting are a little bit more abstract, and I think I love that about a good song, is that, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, you hear it and you feel it deeply, and you might not even fully understand what the words are meant for. It doesn't matter, it's just poetry, and it hits you in a way, and then a film is a little bit more specific, and you can really feel the specifics and the personality of the story, and we have both in this project, and I think they inform each other really beautifully, and what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna play you the song. I'm gonna play you the song first that came out of this story, and then we'll watch the film together, and then we'll do that in that order specifically because I think it's a kind of a cool experiment to see how context informs our perception of things, and I've always found that interesting with song. It's you know, it's usually written about a specific story, but obviously you're never really privy to the specifics of the story, so you just kind of map your own meaning onto it, and we'll do that in this order so that you can kind of experience the song without any context, and then we'll all watch this film together, and then you'll probably never be able to hear the song again the same, and so the song's called One Big Beautiful Glorious Mess, and it goes like this. You gotta excuse it, I have a little bit of a head cold here, so bear with me, but we'll get through it. And here it goes like this. Tired eyes look so sad. I wanna love you just like that. I know you gave it all you had, just lost the angle of attack. Falling in love again. I can hear you whisper. It's just one bit beautiful, glorious mess. After all these years have passed, I don't love you any less. try to drink the pain away. I wanna drown just like you, babe. In the cold ocean gray, hold me close, hold me strange. When the time turns again, I can hear you whisper. It's just one big beautiful glorious mess. After all these years have passed, I don't love you any less. Grace, you know, it's just a friend holding home when you can. Well, that's the song One Big Beautiful Glorious Mess, and enjoy the film, and I'll see you on the other side.
When I met Brad, it was just different. Brad was very not typical, in the most quiet, grounded, old soul kind of way. Yeah. He was just so freaking good looking, and there was something about Summer Whites that it was like, what am I? Officer and a Gentleman had just come out. I mean, what was I to do? And one of my brothers said, okay, he was so humble, and then I was just kind of like, I don't know about that. Like, he did go to the academy, had his shit together, knew he was kind of the shit, and so there was that.
How old were you guys when you got married?
I always tell people 21, but that was a lie. I didn't turn 21 until a week after we got married. I wanted to go somewhere tropical with little drinks with umbrellas, you know, and because I was going to be legal drinking age and on my honeymoon. And he was like, you know, we can always take a week off to do that at any point in life. He's like, but whenever do you get a chance? You've got 1 month to just take off and see the United States. He's like, so we did that. Yep, saw Badlands. Took a shower, a portable shower thing that, you know, is black and gets heated up by the sun, and that's. This was our 1 week anniversary. We pulled over at the time that we were getting married, And we're like, wherever we are at the time, and we pulled her, and we just, because he was driving, we just got a mini bottle of wine, and we each had just a couple of sips to toast. We went camping in Cody, Wyoming. But I'm so grateful that we did it. I would have never made the trip to do all those things. He was more of it. He brought me back to like a natural place. He was never into the icing and the sprinkles. You know, he was just into a really good piece of cake. May 27th would have been our 3-year anniversary. 6 months before our wedding anniversary, I came home from work. Regular old day, coming home from work. And there was a card. And I opened it up, and it's this big embossed, raised, like silver, happy 25th wedding anniversary. And I open it up, and it's like, and then he's like, I love you. And I'm like, I'm confused, because I'm like, it's the 25th wedding anniversary. And he's like, look at the front. And I close it. He had taken and put a decimal point in between the 25. It was our 2.5-year wedding anniversary. That one's tough. That morning, he was flying through the night. They were on what's called the Ready Alert, so they were flying a lot. And he was supposed to be resting because he had a 1:30 check-in time for their flight that night. I had gotten up. I was going to work, and so I was getting ready to leave, and I said, I'll see you tonight. Oh, no, wait, I won't. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh, wait, that's right, I won't see you tomorrow morning either, because you'll be flying. I guess I'll just see you tomorrow night. So I was being a little snarky. And, because I would remember just watching him lying in bed, and I missed him so much. And I thought, this makes no sense, because he's right there in front of me. And so that's when I had said all that. And I left, and I got to the front door, and he yelled, I love you. Kind of like that, don't walk out this door without, I know you're pissy, but don't walk. And I stopped, knew I was being ridiculous, and I said, I love you too. I'll see you tomorrow night. And that was it. The next morning, I woke up and I opened my eyes and I see Brad looking at me. And he looks, I always say that how tired and sad can kind of look the same, but I was thinking he looks tired, He's been flying all night. He said he was going to be coming home in the wee hours of the morning, And I got up and I was talking to him, looking at him, and I'm like, I'm going to snooze one time, just one time, and then I promise I won't. I'll let you go to sleep, because he's there to now sleep since he's been flying all night. And I go and I turn the alarm off and I turn around and he's gone. And so I yelled his name, thinking maybe he got up to go to the bathroom. And I went and checked and he wasn't in the bathroom. I'm like, well, that was weird. So I'm like, I'm clearly really tired and I need to sleep, because I was just dreaming that I saw him. That's what was going on in my mind. So I went back to sleep for whatever 7 more minutes that your snooze gives you. And then I got up, got in the shower. And then when I was back in my room getting ready, remember the phone ringing, and I always still remember, I can picture my legs with my bathrobe as I was walking to the phone, because I always say that's the last time that time ticked right. Time ticked differently after those moments. It was my friend's mother who lived in the area, and her son was a P-3 pilot. She said, did you hear about the plane crash? Because it was on CNN. And I said, no.
And we have the story just into CNN. It's a horrific military plane crash. And we will keep you updated.
And so I called the squadron. I was just curious about their flight, and he said, we've lost communication with their plane, but we're trying to contact them now. Which to me, you don't lose communication with the plane, I mean, I knew. And I also really knew that he was gone, because I knew what I saw that morning. And I thought it was a dream until then. called my family and told them all that Brad was dead. And they, of course, thought it was Lisa just overreacting or something. And ironically, it was one of the guys from his crew, his name is Steve, showed up at my door. And I'm like, I keep thinking what his, poor guy, what he went through having to deal with me. You know, I just saw him and I just started screaming, don't you fucking come in here and tell me he's dead. So I just kept yelling that. And he came in and just had to like kind of hold my arms down. And then things are just kind of blurry for a while after that, like 4 years. He never saw this picture.
Yeah.
This was given to me after he died. And doesn't it look like he's just contemplative? Like contemplative? But the way he like fades off into the light. Brad's death was like the rug getting pulled out from me. And all of a sudden you land face down and all the shit you had ever swept under the rug. That's, I think, the biggest thing. It wasn't just the loss of him. It's what that loss opened up. I remember writing in my journal 3 months after he died. It was like, it's just a pain that's not going away. Pain up until Brad's death, I'd experienced some pain, but pain always went away. And I had never experienced pain that just didn't go away for a very, very, very long time. It was maybe 3 weeks after Brad died. I wanted to go to San Diego. It's like the cemetery for me. It's like that's where he is. It was a mid-air collision, 60 nautical miles off the coast of San Diego. And I did do a lot of drinking back then because the reality was not anything that I wanted to be in. I went down there, a childhood friend lived there, and she and I were out at the bar. So you just see two 20-somethings out at a bar drinking. And we talked to these guys. I told them what I wanted to do, which was I wanted to go into the surf. I wanted to go into the water and like be surrounded by Brad, because that's where his remains are, and that's, you know, where he is. And like I wanted to try to get as close to him as I could. And so this angel of a man, we walked from the bar out to the beach and ran out into the surf. And this guy went and stood out in the surf. It was freezing cold. It was like just took your breath away when the waves hitting you. And it was so shocking. And I needed the physical shocking. And that guy just held me in the surf, and I just sobbed. I think that for me was like to see the moments, like, yeah, there's all this stuff in life that people don't want to talk about, and we can also concentrate all of the negative stuff. But I tell you, there is nothing like in those moments of our deepest pain, we actually get to see the gifts of humanity. And you know, the saying is better to have loved and lost than to not have loved at all. And that is so true. But man, is it a motherfucker? You know, it just is. I've loved again. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a beautiful granddaughter. And I wouldn't have had, it would have all been different, you know. But who I am, I mean, that's the gift, truly. And not just getting to love him and to be loved by him, but the losing of him taught me something that you can't tell other people, you know.
Tired eyes look so sad. I wanna love
I mean, every year my garden grows and blooms, and every year it dies, and you observe that. It's like, I think we as humans we think this is the end all be all, whether we even have a belief in whatever is beyond here, if anything, but we're like, this is it. It's all like this moment of Lisa. And it is, and it's not at the same time. It's like we're so insignificant, but we're this one little piece of significance if we choose to step into that. I mean, it's beautiful. It's just this big, glorious mess. And I don't think I could have seen it that way before.
It's just one big, beautiful, glorious mess.
I would never give this experience to my worst enemy. I don't really have any, but I wouldn't give this to anybody, right? And yet I wish that I could gift the grace of it to everybody I know and love. It's not even something you move on from, and I think until you've been in that, you don't necessarily understand that. You don't move on from, and I don't want to either. I don't want to forget or take away any part of what that brought to me, because it's like the sweet and salty, it's all of it. You can't just choose the sweet parts, we've got to be willing to have all of it. And that to me is powerful. I'd rather cry all my tears so I can laugh all my laughter.
The cold ocean
Pictures.
hold me close. Hold
I know, I don't know.
Oh, I'm supposed to leave it down, right? God, we gotta redo the beginning.
the time turns again.
Yes, cheers. Yes.
I can hear you whisper. It's just one big, beautiful, glorious mess. After all these tears have passed, I don't love you anyway. Grace, it's just a friend holding hope when you can't.
Well, there it is. That's the first ever song portrait. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Lisa, for saying yes to this, for welcoming us into your home and sharing your story. Thank you, Grace. Grace Galligan is the brilliant filmmaker behind this. It wouldn't be possible without Grace. When I first came up with this idea of doing a song portrait, I knew that I had to get Grace on board, otherwise it really wouldn't work. And we had worked on a project last year called The Walking Tour that we had just such a great time doing it, and it came out just brilliantly. So I knew that Grace was the right person for it. And so thank you so much, Grace, for saying yes to this. And we went back last week to share this project with Lisa in person before anybody else. And we have some behind the scene content from that day. And I'd love to share that with you guys now.
Are you about to tell your
Yeah, I
version of the
think
story?
so, yeah.
I'll just mic you.
Okay.
Yeah, you just hold you. Sorry.
Take this back.
Sorry, go ahead.
I love
He
that.
swerved out of his lane a little
I
bit.
know, I
saw-
did. I did. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble for that later.
Look at him.
Yeah, and then in the past month, previous to that, I was ruminating on this idea of doing song portraits. And when I had come up with that idea, and I reached out to Grace, and I was like, "Hey, Grace, what do you think about doing this thing that I just made up? Can't do it without you." The kicker is I need you. Like, is this too complicated of a artistic, creative endeavor to pull off in a respectful, beautiful way? And because the main thing, I think, probably for both of us, we just wanted to respect your story and make it be to honor it in a beautiful way. And because there's a very different thing between trying and actually doing, and I didn't want to just try to respect your story, and I was really nervous that we might have gotten in over our heads, and it was going to be a good old fashioned college try.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want it to be that.
Yeah. I mean, it was easy to say yes because I trusted you. And I didn't know you, but I trusted you because of what you have shown, your own pieces of glimpses in your own heart and your own perspective and your own beautiful lens in humanity. You share that through your music, and I could trust you right away because of how authentic your music was. And meeting you, of course, for the backyard on my birthday, that was amazing then. And being able to know your energy. So all of these things that maybe other people are like, what the heck are you even talking about? But I trusted you. And then meeting Grace, and obviously that trust got extended. And by within minutes, I was very clear that whatever's going to happen or whatever you guys are going to do with this project, I just knew that you guys would be two souls I would want in charge of that,
Should we tell you what the song's called? Do you want to know what the song's called?
Yes, because that's the first thing I would see.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
me, because yes.
So the song and the documentary is called One Big, Beautiful, Glorious Mess.
Perfect.
And
One big, beautiful, glorious mess.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's something that you said.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Grace, it's just a friend holding hope when you can.
Wow. Thank you.
There it is. One big, beautiful, glorious mess.
Yep. Wow, that was beautiful, Mark.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. And I get the lyrics right. As a camera person. You've been such a gift too. But this is authentic interaction that's real in life, whether a thing was produced or not. The gift's already been given.
Thank you for sharing your story. We had such a good time doing this.
Yeah. With all the tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has been beautiful. It's been one big beautiful glorious mess.
Yeah.
It was interesting, the thread of it, like to the title of the song, the title of this, like, so there was an inkling, because I have some behind the scenes knowledge of the big beautiful glorious mess. But to see that that's what you guys picked out, which would not have been maybe what I would want someone to have picked out, but it is probably the most authentic thing that you picked out. And that's beautiful. That's yeah, it's a good thing I wasn't in charge of anything.
Saying how like this is a very novel idea. Of course, short films,
Yeah.
that's a thing. Songwriting's a thing. But for them to be interwoven like this is a bit of like a strange thing to pitch to somebody.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying
it's
yes.
beautiful. And there's going to be lots more stories, you know, and each time you guys are going to come together in different ways, depending upon how it all impacts whatever story is being told and where you are each at in your own experience and your journey of life is how you interpret that story. So it's going to be an ever-changing thing.
Yes.
But what you're creating is all those stories are good. That's the village. I know.
Well, that's a wrap, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out on this Tuesday night. All of this content, the film, the song, the lyrics, the behind the scenes content, it's all over on my website, available to all Shiva Villagers. So go check it out. Additionally, over there is a submission form for the next song portrait. This is hopefully just the beginning of many, many more stories to tell. So I'd love to tell your story next. Go check out the form, and hopefully we'll have another song portrait premiere soon. And then finally, thank you so much, Lisa, for saying yes to this first song portrait. Thank you so much for Grace for making this beautiful film. And thank you to you guys, all the villagers, for supporting these projects and making it possible. I can't wait to tell more stories. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye.
Tired eyes look so sad. I wanna love you just like that. I know you gave it all you had, just lost the angle of the day. Falling in love again. I can hear you whisper. It's just one big, beautiful, glorious mess. After all these years have passed, I don't love you any less. Try to drink the pain away. I wanna drown just like you. In the cold ocean grave, hold me close, hold me strange. When the time turns again. I can hear you whisper. It's just one big beautiful glorious night. After all these days have passed, I don't love you any less. Grace, you know, is just a friend holding hope when